Hey everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm experimenting with an idea that I've had rolling around in my head for the longest time, and I wanted to see if I could turn it into a card, so that's what I'm doing today. And I started by taping a piece of watercolor paper down onto a clipboard with masking tape, and I'm going to go ahead and spread a puddle of clean water across the surface where I want color to go, and then I'm going to add those distress reinkers, which are water reactive. Now my puddle was not as heavy a water puddle as it should have been. So the ink, kind of needs some help getting moved around. So I'm just dipping my flat brush there into more water and spreading the color around a little bit more. I'm gonna end with some abandoned coral. I think I used cracked pistachio, squeezed lemonade, which has almost a chartreusey hue, and then the abandoned coral. Now here you can see as I add more heavy droplets of water, it starts to react and spread. And I could have used a water mister, but I really did not want any spatter to get anywhere else. I wanted to keep this as kind of a cloudy puddle of color. So once I'm done getting that spread out where I want it, I'm gonna take some paper towel because the color right now is just far more intense than what I knew I wanted on the end result. So I'm just gonna blot up that excess color there and maybe manipulate it just a little bit more to even out where I've got a little bit of those, splotches from when I dabbed it there with the clean paper towel. And then I'm gonna let this air dry. It's really hard to be patient and do that, but it's gonna give me the result I want if I just set it aside to air dry. And then while that's drying, I'm gonna take some Neenah Solar White, and I die cut the word happy from the Holiday Merry and Bright die set. I love the fact that there's a happy in that die set, and I cut it twice from Neenah Solar White, and then I used a method to layer them together that I've seen my friend Laurel Beard do. She's so brave. She sticks her finger right through the glue and spreads it on real thinly, and it works really well. And even though it's really hard for me to do that kind of thing and stick my finger into a coloring medium or glue, it does work really well. I also die cut the happy from some American Crafts glitter paper and went ahead and layered it in the same way. So I've got 2 layers of white cardstock and then the glitter paper, so it has some support. And then I'm just folding the masking tape back on itself and then pulling slowly to remove it from the watercolor paper so that I don't tear the surface of the paper as I'm working. And I'm going to trim this panel down because I'm going to mount it to an A2 white card. I think it will look really nice with the border around it, so that's why I trimmed it out. And in the meantime, I wanted to do some stamp surgery because I want part of this sentiment. It says bring on the cake. It's from the Wish Big stamp set, but I just want bring on the. And it dawned on me after I did this that I really didn't need to cut it apart for this particular project, but it is cut apart for the future. And I can always mount them back together again onto an acrylic block when I need them. So I'm just doing a little bit of surgery here, very quick with the scissors, being careful to get in there and separate them without cutting through the actual image itself. And then I'm going to prep a piece of licorice black cardstock with an anti-static pouch so that I can ink up that sentiment with some Versamark ink and white emboss it. So we'll go ahead and break out the Versamark. This is my favorite ink for embossing. Go ahead and ink up the stamp. I'll watch my hands and I go back and forth there and hoping I don't get any of that Versamark ink on my fingers. And then as I add the white detail embossing powder, this is by Stampendous, it looked like I still had a little bit of that powder sticking in spots. Who knows, maybe I got some of that Versamark on my fingers. So I'll just flick it away with a soft little paintbrush there, and then I'll go ahead and heat emboss that. I preheated my tool for about 30 seconds or so. And it embosses really quick, and that white detail powder works awesome on a fine line image like this one. So anytime you have sentiments with really fine detail lines, try using that Stampendous Detail White Embossing Powder. It is awesome, and it's a really nice bright white. So now I'm going to trim things out. I wanted to create kind of a Dymo label effect, and this is one of my favorite ways to do it. So I'm just trimming out the pieces that I need for the sentiment that I want to put on here. So I'm going to mount this panel here to the Neenah Solar White. There's my watercolored cloudy effect there. And then I just used the Glue Glider Pro Tape Runner to glue that down. And I'm going to use some glossy accents to glue down this thread. So I took the silver metallic twine and coiled it around my fingers. I kind of wanted to make I don't know, kind of a halo effect of the thread. You know, that messy nest that I really love so much. And it kept bouncing up on me. So I took some glossy accents and tried to anchor it down a little bit in different spots where I thought it might not be visible, but I don't know that that worked all that well. But in the meantime, I was actually going to put a die cut vellum circle over the top anyway. So that really helped. And I used the glossy accents behind that because I knew that would not be visible, dry nice and clear. So I went ahead, and this is kind of creating a little bit of a diffused area for my glittery happy to show up. I'm going to add a few droplets of the mono multi glue, and my bottle's running out of glue there. I need to get a new one. And just adding just a couple dots behind there to mount that over the top of the vellum. And I don't care if the far left and far right are really glued down all that well. It's okay if they kind of pop up a little bit. I mostly just wanted to make sure the rest of it was glued down firmly. And then my sentiment is going to have some foam tape mounted to the back of it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and mount those pieces in place very quickly. And this is just going to kind of create that whole sentiment that effect that I wanted against the watercolored cloudy background there. And then for just some added color and dimension and pop, I'm gonna take these enamel dots that I've been hoarding for forever. These were by my mind's eye, and you just need some enamel dots that kind of coordinate there with the colors that you've used on your card. And I just reached for these and I was like, oh, hey, close enough. And there you go. And I think the card turned out super cute. Bring on the happy. I think that's a really fun way to use that set of holiday dies and the Wish Big stamp set. Thanks for watching. You'll find all the supplies at ellenhutson.com, and there's more details and still shots available at the Classroom blog.